When did you start first listening to Nicki Minaj?
I'm gonna say the end of 07, beginning of 08.
There was a shift between rapper Nicki and pop star Nicki.
I don't necessarily think it was like, oh, we just gonna do it. I think Nicki just went where the money was going at that point.
I might have to edge Kim just because Kim really like kind of changed how females were looked at in hip hop going forward.
I don't know. I couldn't bring myself to listen to Sheether because, like I said, a lot of people don't even really listen to Remy's music.
24 sliding, shorty head bopping on top of the stick.
Okay, so Sheether drops though, and it has the internet going crazy. That's probably one of the first times that Remy had, the internet going crazy like ever. So, and shout out to Remy. I'm not trying to disrespect her, but it's true.
Yeah.
Nicki doesn't say anything. Nicki stays quiet. So then Remy does another record off the back-to-back beat, and it's not a good record. And that's coming from a Remy fan as well as a Nicki fan, but that was not a good record. Nicki stays quiet. Few months later, she drops 3 songs. Okay, and we have to call a spade a spade. She drops 3 songs, and they don't do well. Okay, No Frauds, Regretting Your Tears, or Regret My Tears, I believe, and there was another record with Wayne, I think.
Changed it.
Yeah. So this is when I'm starting to say, okay, wait a minute, hold on. Does Nicki have a problem here? Nicki dropped No Frauds and it should have took off, and it didn't. Okay, No Frauds is considered a flop. I'm just saying the facts here. It's considered a flop. Even though I actually like that record, I like No Frauds, but
you know what? I was so surprised to know that it was a flop because I feel like it was on the radio. I mean, I don't listen to the radio like that, but I feel like when I did listen to the radio, I heard it. I feel like when I did go out, I heard it. So I was just like, well, how it, I didn't really understand because people, were still I mean, I'm not going to say a lot of people were playing it.
Yeah. Just
because I feel like the Nicki hate train is real, and that's a whole other thing.
It's growing, though.
No, and I feel like I'm gonna get into that when we get to Cardi, but I definitely think there's a Nicki hate train. And as far as when No Frauds came out, I think it's because of I think everybody's problem was because she didn't respond right away. Mm-hmm. And, her response to not responding right away was that she was at Fashion Week in France.
She was in Prague. She was in Prague.
Attention! This is how bad bitches leave London and go to Prague. You bitches can't even spell Prague.
She was in Prague, right?
She was in Prague.
She was overseas and she was like unbothered. That was her thing.
Yeah.
So for all the petty girls out there, because I think Nicki makes music for the petty girls. Mm-hmm. I think it was for them. It was like, okay, well, she's unbothered. But then for hip hop, it was like, but why are you not responding though? Like, what's going on? Why are we not responding?
And
I think the length of the time, and then when it came out, the fact that it wasn't how people wanted her to respond. They wanted her to come a little bit harder, especially because of the length of time. Yeah. It was like
she came with a club song. She came with a club single that she dissed Remy in briefly, right? And again, we're gonna point to Nicki's hypocrite statements at times, because on No Frauds,
there was on there.
She mentioned what kind of mother leaves her son over a stack.
What type of mother leave her one son over a stack?
Right? Queen Radio. We'll get to that. We're getting to that, guys. We're getting to that. You just gotta understand the timeline to understand.
It was that, and then also, what really, and even now, because I feel like she's only doing it to get clout because Love and Hip Hop failed her again. I feel like Ra. I don't like Ra. I didn't like Ra when she was on Love and Hip Hop,
and I don't even watch Love and Hip Hop. I didn't even know who that was. I just knew it was a friend of Remy.
But you know what the crazy part is? On Love and Hip Hop, when Remy was on there, her first season, she was Remy's best friend. Oh, yeah. Remy's my ride or die, and when she was in jail, I was looking out for her, and all this shit. So how do you go from Remy's your best friend to now you getting in the middle of altercations with Nicki now.
Mm-hmm.
Against Remy. At one point against Remy. So I think Nicki, as far as it goes with Rod and Nicki, I think Nicki's using Rod for what Nicki's using Rod, I don't know, for info or just for security purposes. I have no idea.
Obviously, security purposes.
Right. But Raj just like using this for clout. Like she's using this because every time she was on Love and Hip Hop, the first time Rod came on Love and Hip Hop, she was Tahiri's best friend, which is Joe Budden's ex-girlfriend. She was Tahiri's best friend.
Yeah.
Then she left. She came back as like somebody's like sidekick. Like she wasn't on the show, but she was on a few episodes, and then somehow she was at the reunion.
Yeah.
Then she left. Then when Remy came on the show, she's Remy's best friend, and she's arguing with Yandy about Remy. But now in real life, somewhat outside of Love and Hip Hop, now you're fighting for Nicki, and it's just like that part of the whole thing is like that's where I'm just like I don't know about Rod. Like I'm not like because she seems fake to me. The fact that. And when it first happened was with the No Force video, when she was talking about Remy and she mentioned Rod, and then Rod's in the video. Like, she flew Rod out because they shot the video, I think, in France or whatever. So she flew Rod out, and it's just like, how do you, like, as Rod, like, as a person, how do you go from being up Remy's ass to now being up Nicki's ass? Like, how? The flip is real. The pancaking is going real in Hollywood. It's real.
Oh, yeah. All right, so the Remy stuff, it kind of goes quiet after the No Frauds and everything like that. They still sub each other every now and then, but I don't even know if Nicki's still subbing her. I'm
sure she's at this point. I think she's at a point where she said that she was like, somebody had asked her if she would do ladies night, if she would do a ladies night remix with all my rappers. She was like, and somebody said, well, they don't like, she's like, but you don't like them. And she corrected them. She said, no, it's not that I don't like them. They don't like me. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know. But then, Remy also went on Wendy Williams and did that whole spectacle with her, like, whole funeral outfit and was saying how, like, she killed his career. Yeah. And that whole thing with her and Remy has been crazy. But I really hope that everybody could at some point get it together.
Okay, and I agree with you. So it's a little quiet, right, after this whole thing, right, with Nicki and Remy, right? This was like 2016 going into 2017. 2017 comes, and we get Bodak Yellow from Cardi B. Whoa. Oh, wait a minute. What just happened here? Bodak Yellow drops. Whoa, Cardi B. You know what I mean? It's just like, now, I'm going to tell you, when I heard Bodak Yellow the first time, I was like, all right, it's cool. I didn't think it was anything. I like Forever more. I listened to Cardi before all of that other stuff. I know that's the thing to say, oh, I was up on her before Bodak Yellow, but no, like, I played Cardi's records when I DJ'd before Bodak Yellow, before we even had a Bodak Yellow. And we played Forever for a while. Me and DJ EV, shout out to my aunt. We played Forever when it dropped in like 16.
Right.
So, but she catches a #1 hit single, Bodak Yellow. Right? Wow. Yeah. Okay. So it's like, whoa. Okay, Cardi B has a #1. She's the first female act to hit #1 with a solo record since Lauryn Hill from 1998? 7, 8, 9? One of those. All right? Either way, it's been a long time. All right, I think it was 19 years. So yeah, about about 1999, around there. Right? So, or 98. So now, okay, we have Cardi B. Nicki's been quiet, right? Nicki was doing a couple of features. I think she did the Jason Derulo record because she seems to love him. She did a few other records, Katy Perry records that the hip hop audience doesn't necessarily identify, right? We just don't. So Nicki's quiet, Cardi's blowing up, and at one point last summer, Cardi was the hottest. I don't care, male, female. Cardi was the hottest artist. Yeah.
Bodak Yellow definitely blew up last summer because everybody was playing Bodak Yellow. It was like everywhere.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't Bodak Yellow, it was I know the name of the song is not "Fuck 'Em Then I Get Some Money," but that song.
Oh, the G-Eazy record.
Yes.
No Limit. No Limit
Yeah.
remix.
I was like, what is the name of the song? No Limit. So it was, if it wasn't Bodak Yellow, it was No Limit. That's all I heard.
Right. And immediately from there, people were already starting to discredit Cardi. Okay? Oh, she didn't write it. Or that's Kodak Black's song, and he's gotten credit for it. Kodak Black got credit for the Bodak. It's called Bodak Yellow. Like, obviously she got it from Kodak, so she's not hiding from the fact. But there were real like hip hop fans that were, like, all right, well, she didn't write it, we can't respect it. Drake went through the same thing, and Nicki, for a while they were saying Safari wrote her raps because Safari said that he wrote it. Right?
But now he's backtracking, saying that he never said it. But you clearly said.
I'm sorry. You're SB again. Just because you're lying, you're SB again. Now, but anyway, so Cardi and Nicki do motorsport, right?
Oh boy.
Okay, so.
And then to know what all that was about now is really silly. Like, to know like all the history behind it now is like. So that's why you got like, really, like, okay. So the song was originally what, Quavo and Nicki's record, right? Well, yeah. Well, what happened was Nicki said that when she recorded it, she said that originally it was supposed to be for her and Quavo, because Quavo put out an album, I think Quality Control or something like that. There's a song with him and Nicki on it. It's called She's for Keeps or something like that. Yeah, so she technically recorded 2 songs. Yeah, she recorded like 2 songs, and she said she didn't know, but she said that Quavo asked her if they could put Cardi on it, and she said, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah. Okay. And okay, so she agrees to put Cardi on the record. And the original verse that she had, and which has leaked since, right? I guess there was a line in there that she was like, if Cardi's the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi, which is not a diss, because then she said if Quavo's the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi, which anybody who knows football just knows that she means that that she's the coach and the other person's the player. I guess Cardi might have took it as like it was a diss and wanted it changed or whatever. Because that was that verse came out. That the original Nicki Minaj verse that we did not hear on the finished version did come out. So she did change her verse.
You see them flowers? That is Gucci on my blouse. Motorsport, colorful Lambos is out. Hard to beat me. I wish that Zena could see me right now. God forgive me. I know that I ain't living right now. Get this money right now. With a couple bad bitches that'll rip the party. If Cardi the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi. Cardi the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi. Cardi the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi. Party, pull up in a space coupe. I done linked with Marty. I can actually afford to get a pink Bugatti.
Now, if it was because of Cardi, I don't know. I don't know if that's why she changed the verse. But the point is she changed the verse, right? And if you listen to Nicki's verse, right? Because for the longest, they said that they was going at each other on that song. Like, that was those two dissing each other on that record.
Yeah.
I could see it. I definitely can see it.
And then after everything with the video that happened, it was just like, and, there was the reason they said the beef with the video was that Nicki and Cardi the reason why that they weren't in any scenes together is because they couldn't shoot the same day. Right. So it came out.
I don't believe that, though. I'm just telling you shit. I don't believe that.
It came out now that the reason why they couldn't shoot the same day is because they used the same hairstylist at the time. And is it Tokyo Styles? I think that's who it is. I know Cardi still uses him, but Nicki has a different hairstylist now. But at the time, apparently he couldn't do both their hair that day, which I'm like, to me, when it first came out, I was like, I could see it, but then as I thought about it, I said, so you mean to tell me, if that is true, as a hairstylist, you mean to tell me you couldn't figure that out so that you could do both their hairs that day?
I don't believe that.
Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. So I don't know if he didn't want to start anything. I don't know if that's true, but that is what Nicki said happened. Cardi said that she just heard that she couldn't shoot that day.
Yeah, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. Maybe she couldn't. Maybe there's credence to that, but like,
for me, I just went to the Drake and Migos concert, and when I went, Migos performed Motorsport, but it's like some dry version. Cardi didn't come out. Obviously, Nicki didn't come out. So it was just like, so technically, like, you guys didn't even really, like, I feel like when it comes to, like, the whole Cardi Nicki thing, I just feel like they just need to figure it out. I don't know, but I just feel like when it came down to the video, as far as it goes with the hairstylist, like you said, I feel like that story's not 100% true. I don't know who's lying, but somebody's
lying. Exactly. So we get Motorsport. It's a hot record. Okay, I didn't think it was gonna go at first. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it, and then it took off. Right. So Motorsport takes off. I'm like, okay, you know what? Nicki needed this one. And it's not that. I started seeing the shift though. I started seeing where it was going once No Frauds came out. I kind of saw, all right, there's a shift going. Even though people didn't want to admit it, I'm like, nah, this isn't Nicki. When she dropped something, especially like No Frauds, it should have took off. For whatever reason, it didn't. That we talked about that already, but I started seeing a shift when Bodak Yellow took off. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So what does this mean for Nicki? Like, I was happy for Cardi, but I'm like, what does this mean for Nicki? You know. They do Motorsport together. I'm like, okay, all right. Nicki still got hot verses. All right, I was happy to hear that. Motorsport's a record that I like hearing Nicki on. That's her type of beat. That's a song that I'm comfortable hearing from her. Right? Yeah. She does the ASAP Ferg record, Plain Jane, hard verse. Right? Good remix. She does a couple of other features. With what's his name? It's the Spanish dude, Bad Bunny and
Crippy Kush guy.
Yeah, Crippy Kush. Hard record. Hard record. That was a hard record. I like that record. It didn't really take off like I thought it would, but that was a hard record. And then something happens. Nicki disappears.
Where has she been? They did this whole thing where can you find Nicki Minaj? They showed a Vogue shoot that she did. Well, according to sources, she is just not on social media to fully focus on her music. That's why she has no new posts since December 30th. She feels way more creative without Instagram and Twitter distracting her.
3 months, no social media, and you hardly saw her out. There was a couple of pictures that she was at certain events, but Nicki like cleanses herself of social media. That's what I'm thinking. When I didn't see Nicki on social media, okay.
Right.
And Nicki, like you said, she's always been very personable with her fans, and she doesn't really take social media breaks like that. When there's things going on with her, she's usually still promoting something. She's charting some type of numbers, or like.
It's like, when Nicki's gonna put an album out because she does a lot of features. So I knew, because that's kind of how Drake, when he first came out, what he did, he was doing features and then he put an album out. Mm-hmm. That's what Wayne did, and I think that he made that thing. Okay, you about to put an album out, work on your album now. You need to do. She does features for a few months. And then she puts out albums. So I'm like, I know we're getting an album, but why are you disappearing, sis? Like, what's going on? Are you working on the album? Because we've been waiting on it. Like, is that what's going on here?
And I don't, we don't like to joke about, I'm not joking about it. This is serious. I think Nicki was depressed. I honestly think that she was at a point in her career. She might not admit this. I don't know if she has already. I haven't listened to every single Nicki interview since she's, come back into, like, the limelight. But I think during that period, she has talked about it. I know she has, and I know she talked about it on Queen Radio a little bit, but she just kind of said that she was off social media. But I think the reason being, I think she was depressed. I think Nicki, there was some drug use going, allegedly. Okay, I don't want nobody suing me or anything, but I think Nicki was at a really weird time in her career. She might not ever admit this, and this is all speculation, but just knowing, like, just dealing with mental health issues before, still dealing with it today, and just knowing how people are when they're going through things, yeah, I could see that there was something. I think she was a little concerned about her spot in music. I feel like she saw the success that Cardi B was having. Not that she was jealous, but just a little worried. I think she was like, whoa, all right, maybe, she's seen that certain records that she has put out didn't connect the way that she wanted it to. And I think that she just needed that time to take away from social media. I could be wrong, but I think it was a lot of depression going on there. And and again, maybe she will address it. And that was one of my issues I had with Queen. And I'll get into my issues I had with Queen in just a little bit. But I feel like Queen, well, I'll talk about that. But I think that during that period, during the 3-month period that she was off social media, I think it was like 3 or 4 months. Because I think
it was a minute. It was like 3-4 months.
Yeah, because in December, the end of December was like her last like tweet, and then she didn't come back on until she had a song to promote. She had 2 songs to promote. That's when That's when it's like, oh shit, Nicki's still alive. Like, thank God.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it was tough. What do you think was going on during that period in her life?
Well, at the time, I thought, okay, she's working on the album, but then there was album pushbacks. I think she had 2.
Mm-hmm.
There was a rumored 3rd one, but it thankfully didn't happen because I would have not tolerated that. But I believe there was 2 album pushbacks. So at the time, I thought she was working on her album. I was like, okay, maybe she, but she, like I said, she did put out 20, I think it's 22 songs. So it is very possible that she did. However, I think it's a combination of what you said. I think maybe she was going through something, at the time. I think that's when she broke up. I think that's when her and Nas broke up. I think.
Yeah, allegedly.
The things with her brothers going on. I think it's just a lot. And then, with that, everybody, what I don't understand is everybody wants her to do something. They're like, oh, well, your brother. And I'm like, but that's her brother. That's not her. Like, she's not responsible for her brother's actions. And also, honestly, I don't think she should say anything about her brother because I feel like whatever she says is going to hurt her career. I feel like if she says she's done with him, I feel like if she says anything, it's going to hurt her career. So I don't think she should. I don't think she should talk about her brother. I think it should stay where it's at. Let her mom do what her mom is doing about it and her brother do what he's doing. And that's it. I don't think she should talk about it. But I think that was going on and everybody was on her about it to do something. Like she's supposed to, like, I don't know, say it publicly that she don't support her brother. But then that's her brother at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going on, but that's still her brother. You know what I'm saying? So that's still a touchy subject for her, I feel.
Yeah,
and
I can see that.
And then I think that I don't want to say I think she might have been worried about what was going on with Cardi. I don't want to say she put a lot of, I don't want to feel like I think she put a lot of thought into it. Like, I don't think she was like pondering over like Cardi, you know what I mean? But I definitely think that was a thought on her radar. I definitely think she was thinking about it, like, what does this mean for me? Mm-hmm. And also, if that's around the time, this was right after Motorsport and everything. So I think I was right around the time after Motorsport or whatever, things were going on. So I just feel like she just needed some time to like back away and just kind of get her mind together, either to do the album or while she was doing the album.
Okay, I can understand that. So she comes and she drops Barbie Tings and Chun Li. Okay, on the same day. I thought Barbie Tings was alright, but I thought Chun Li was the stronger record. People disagreed with me. There was a lot of people that disagreed with me, but I'm like, nah, Chun Li's a single. To me.
Chun Li, I like Chun Li. I like Barbie Ting. Mm-hmm. But I will say at first I was not crazy about Chun Li because I'm like, Chun Li. But I had to listen to it a couple of times and really get into it. Mm-hmm. Barbie Ting, I don't know if it's because she used what's the name of the song? Lean Back. She used the Lean Back sample. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's what kind of like had my ears alert. Like, what's going? Like, okay, like I immediately as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh, she's about to diss Remy. I'm like, she got to. If you're gonna use it, like that's what, if I was in Nicki's position, that's what I would do. Mm-hmm. So at first, like I said, Barbie Tings was definitely, I was listening to it more. I think I could have dealt with that over Barbie Tings as opposed to having both of them.
So I listened to Barbie Tings and Chun Li. And I was like, all right, well, okay, Chun Li's probably gonna go. And at first, it was a slow rise. Like, it really, I think it did peak at number 9 on Billboard, I believe. But it didn't. So I played Chun Li right? I did a party. I think it was with Ty Wiz. I did a party and I played Chun-Li, and I asked. It was like maybe a month after it came out, and I'm in Queens, right? I was in Queens, not far from where Nicki grew up at, and I put on Chun-Li, and the reception was not good. They was like, "Yo, turn that off. I don't like it." You know what I mean? Like it was, they said it in different ways, right? Because I was like, "Yo, it was a smaller party. It wasn't like a club. I'm sure Chun-Li rings off differently in a club now than it did then. It was a smaller party. But I was like, yo, let me take a poll. Because Ty thinks that this record isn't hot. Let me know what y'all thought. Because I thought Chun-Li was fire. I was like, yo, this beat? What?
Yeah, I think the beat was crazy.
Yeah.
The beat was probably crazy on that.
So I played it, and they wasn't really... I played the first verse, and I had to turn it off. Because they didn't like it. And this was like a month after it came out. This was in Queens. So I was like... Man, I'm really worried about Nicki now, because if they don't like it in her own hood, what's gonna happen? But then I play it more.
There's a lot of that now. Well, I mean, let me say this: I'm not gonna say that Nicki always was received in Queens, because it's still, even when she was hot, yeah, she was accepted, but a lot of people still, even then, I should say, even then. Before, when she first came out, there was still a lot of people in Queens that did not mess with Nicki. They was like, I'm a Remy fan, I'm a Kim fan, I'm this, I'm that. It's still, like I said, the Nicki hate train started from the beginning, and in the beginning, it was like a random summer day on the train in the summertime. And a random summer day in the summertime, you know, it's a few people on there. You might get a people off and on, it's consistent riders, you know. But then now it's like how MTA is now. I always remember that. I feel like I saw this picture of MTA on the worst day. There was like 3,000 people waiting for the train. Yeah. And that's the idea of what the Nicki hate train looks like. It's like, and now it's at this point where no matter what she does, she can't do anything, because I don't want to bring up the Cardi fight before we get there, but before we get into it, you know, even
finish up with that one. Yeah.
No matter what she did in that situation, nobody was going to be satisfied. Like, it was like, no, the issue, if she would have fought Cardi, she would have been just as bad as Cardi. If she didn't fight Cardi, she's worse off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like no matter what Nicki does, and Nicki knows this, there's always somebody watching. So
I will say this. Like I said with Chun-Li, right before the album even came out, and like you said about the Nicki hate train, I think what it is, it's cool to dislike her. I think that's somewhere down the line. Okay,
it became a popular opinion. It became a really popular opinion. Like, it became like, that's what it was. It was like, you know how they have these memes about unpopular opinions, and what that is? Unpopular opinion, I like Nicki Minaj. That's clearly what it is now, because it's like, it's literally a trend to be like, okay, I don't like Nicki. Like, but do you have a reason? Like, no, I just don't like her. Okay, cool.
That started during the Remy thing. I think Remy garnered sympathy from people, because Remy was looked at as a lower artist than Nicki. I think Nicki was like up here, and Remy was like here.
But she really isn't, though, and that's the problem, because, you know, people don't realize, like, Remy had a career. She just went to jail.
Yeah,
That was literally Remy's downfall, her going to jail. Had Remy not went to jail, I don't think her career would be where it's at now. I think that definitely hurt her career more than anything.
I don't think she ever had the sex appeal that Nicki Minaj does, though. Like, I don't look at Nicki.
But I think that's why Remy's body looked the way it look now, because she's trying to compete.
And that's the issue. And this isn't about Remy. I know it's not, but like I think that was the issue with Remy. That Remy was trying too hard to be sexy, and it's like I don't look at Remy in a way that I look at Nicki Minaj. Like it's totally different.
Yeah, Remy. I think Remy was never known for her sex appeal, because I mean, before she went to jail, she wasn't sexy. Like,
I'm not trying to call her ugly or anything.
She's not ugly. Remy's not ugly. She just wasn't sexy, and that's okay, because not all women are sexy or even want to be sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want that on them, and I don't feel like that's who Remy was. But I feel like, but even not even just Nicki, because I want people to realize that Nicki is not. Although I feel like people have made her the poster child, she's not the only woman that has had, you know, body augmentations and it appears to be sexy. There's way other female rappers that are out now. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? But to only and that's the thing. They only compare Nicki to Remy, Nicki to Cardi. You don't see people comparing Nicki to any of the, well, Dream Doll now because of everything that's happened, but you don't see that. You don't see Nicki being compared to Cash Doll. You don't see her being compared to City Girls, to Lakile 47, any of them. You don't see her being compared to other right. You don't see her being compared to. It's only the ones that she can actually battle with, to be honest. And I'm not saying to come down on them because they're not at where she's at, but they don't ever. That's never the comparison. They only compare her to Remy and Cardi, and I feel like that's also on us, well, too, as consumers, that some of us don't give other female rappers a chance. I'm not one of those people, but I feel like a lot of people don't give other female rappers a chance on both sides, as far as not listening to them and as far as not giving them the shot to compare them to other rappers. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even consider them.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you. We can get to a whole conversation about like other female rappers because there are a lot, but
many.
We do have to get to like the main thing here right now. Okay. So Chun-Li starts doing okay, huh?
I said, so Queen comes out.
So yeah, Queen comes out. Well, okay, before Queen comes out, right? There's already static because Cardi drops her album. Very successful album. Very, very successful.
Did really.
And I like Cardi's album. It's Cardi. Okay, that her album. The best way I can describe it is it's Cardi. And that's a compliment because some artists, they come out with their debut albums and it doesn't sound like them. That sounds like Cardi.
Yeah.
You know, so, and you know, you got what you expected. So I like it. I don't feel like there's any real skippables on Cardi's album, but that's just me personally.
There's been a lot with the ghostwriting thing and everything, but she's apparently, I didn't know, but apparently she came out publicly and said that she had writers. Like, it wasn't just her, she had writers.
Yeah,
so
she's already admitted that. So I can't be mad at her for that.
Right, she said it. So it's like, all right, well, we're done here. Like, you already said it, so cool.
Yeah. So again, I'm not gonna see Cardi wouldn't be in a top list, like a top 10 list. You know what I mean? Because she doesn't write it, or doesn't write all of it.
Right.
She does write. She doesn't write all of it, but that's neither here nor there. So Cardi drops her album. Nicki drops 2 songs. They have like static or whatever between those two.
And this is when Cardi's still pregnant with her baby at that.
Right. Right. So, they make up allegedly at the Met Gala. Right. They hug.
Saw these pictures. They weren't hugging, and I'm not gonna say they were embracing. And it didn't seem like, from the pictures from Cardi's face, it didn't seem like
it was
genuine. It was resolved, but I'm not gonna. Cardi seemed like she just wanted to be cordial.
Yeah.
And Nicki seemed like she wanted to be overly cordial, but Cardi was just fine with being cordial. And then, you know, even after that, when Cardi had when Cardi had Culture, Nicki sent Cardi one of these expensive luxury baskets for her daughter. So it seemed like everything was okay It seemed like everything was okay. Everything's good.
So Queen drops and
all breaks loose. I said Queen drops and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. So allegedly, okay, there are shots at Cardi. The reason I say allegedly, well, okay, let's first say this. Cardi, I listened to Cardi's album. Cardi, there was shots on there. It was shots. They were little like, I guess, grazing shots. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, you know, detonation shots, but there were little shots there. There was one specifically.
You know what the thing is about shots? This is hip hop, and I feel like people don't realize, like, it's okay to take shots at people. This is hip hop. That's what it was based. I mean, not based.
No, yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's like, you take shots at each other, battle, and all go. So, I mean, I don't know if it's because it's women and they're on women empowerment, and I get that. And I'm not saying that it's so conflicting because I feel like it's women empowerment, why they don't want to take shots at each other. But at the same time, it's like, why is it okay for men to take shots at each other in hip hop all the time? All the time. Kendrick did it with Control, did a whole album, just every rapper damn near when that song came out, right?
Yeah.
Eminem just did it. So many rappers just take shots because it's just a sport thing. So if it's just supposed to be a sport thing, why is it so sensitive on both sides, on Nicki's side and on Cardi's side and on Remy's side and on Kim's side? When everybody like, well, I don't get it.
I don't know if it's I think we give the same response to when women do it and when men do it.
Not us as consumers, but I mean them as artists.
Oh, I can't speak.
Beef, because it's like it's beef, but it's like, when is it beef and when is it sport? There's like I feel like there's a fine line between beef and sport, and they haven't found that line.
It's gonna sound sexist, and I don't mean it to be this way, but women are generally more emotional than guys, I guess.
Yeah,
so like they take things to heart more. I don't know. Guys are emotional too. Don't get me wrong, but I think the general consensus. I think the general consensus is that women are a little bit more emotional and more sensitive to certain things than guys are. That's just my opinion. But so yeah, because Cardi has said something like, you know, she says it's all hers while her thighs don't match. That was a shot. I don't care what Cardi said. That was a shot.
Give it to him so good that his eyes roll back. Shorty said it's all hers while thighs don't match.
Right.
Nicki says, you know, I never had to strip to get the pole position.
Right.
That was a shot. I don't care what Nicki says on Queen Radio. That was a shot. That was a shot. But and it's okay. That's all right. But now Nicki's on her press run, right? Nicki's on her press run. She has an album out.
She's putting things out there that we didn't get to hear before, as far as it goes with Cardi, as far as it goes with everything. But Nicki, even in her interviews, the only one that I really sat and watched was the one with Flex, because that was the longest one, and it seemed like it was going to be the most information I was going to get. Yeah. So in the interview, you know, she said that she likes Cardi, because I'm trying to think, Cardi already had a baby. She said that she likes Cardi. She said, you know, that there was no problem. Like, at the time, Nicki didn't say there was a problem, but I think maybe there was something that Nicki said in her on Queen, a few things that Nicki said on Queen that probably didn't reflect that there wasn't a problem. So I think that's maybe where Cardi got confused, or maybe the world pretty much got confused, because it didn't reflect it in her album. So I could see that. But like I said, Nicki said there wasn't a problem, so at the time I could assume there wasn't a problem.
Nicki's also said certain things like, how can you compare somebody that writes to somebody that doesn't write? She said this, okay, and and this is, of course, alluding to the, it's alluding to the fact that Cardi doesn't write, and this is during her press run, right? And it might have been on Flex that she said that. Cardi gets on her Instagram, because Cardi's very vocal about everything, right? Cardi made it perfectly clear, stop talking about me. I'm not worrying about you. Stop talking about me, right? And that was again to Nicki, because Cardi she was pregnant. She wasn't really saying much. She was chilling, like, so. But that's not to say.
She was worried about her baby. But then, you know what it is? That's not to say that things haven't been said. Like I said, there's things that happen in this industry that we won't know about, because there's a lot of inside people between the both of them that could be translating messages back and forth. And I think that's where all this beef is coming from, between the people that's in between them. But when we get to it, I'm going to say it. But like I said, I feel that a lot of the people in between them is definitely the reason why the beef is at where it's at today.
Okay, so we can actually go right into it, and you get ready to wrap up here. But
the thing is, the start of what happened was really at the VMAs. I don't know if you watched it, but at the VMAs, Nicki was there and Cardi was there, and this was the first time since Queen came out that they were both in the same room. Mm-hmm. So Nicki was on. Well, Cardi opened it, but Nicki was on. I think. I'm not sure. And I don't necessarily think. I don't remember what Nicki said in her acceptance speech. She might have said something alluded to Cardi. I don't remember, but I know for a fact that when Cardi got her award.
Oh yeah.
I think it was for the song with J-Lo for Dinero. Or got award, or might have been another one. She was like, she ended it with saying, "That's something that you can't buy, bitch."
It's beautiful, and that's something that God give me that you can't buy, bitch.
Yeah, I
And
remember that. Yeah.
as we all know, everybody has said that Nicki has been, buying technically venues so that not buying venues, but basically putting out there that she don't want to be in the same place as Cardi, as Remy, as everybody, and that she's been buying, spaces so that they won't talk about her, whatever. So obviously this is about Nicki.
Yeah.
So that's where, for me, that's where it really, really started, was at the VMAs, I mean, I'm not going to say that wasn't a publicity stunt, because two things. Cardi just had the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Cardi's clearly been in the studio because she's posted in the studio. Cardi's got an album coming out soon. Don't know when, but it's definitely coming out soon. Nicki just had an album come out.
I think that might be a mistake.
What do you mean?
That's another story. I don't think Cardi should drop another album right now. I like it. Cardi got 2 #1 hit singles, and that's more than any other woman in hip hop could say. Nicki or anybody. So, and that's not a knock on Nicki. It's just, they can't say that. So I think Cardi should chill, but that's just the DJ in me.
I think she should. Well, I still think she should wait, because I still Invasion of Privacy just came out
April
this year.
Yeah.
So I think this is not a Drake moment where what a time to be alive, and if you're reading this, it's too late, it needs to come out. I think at this time, Drake had already put enough that we could stomach 2 albums in a year.
Yeah.
Cardi, this is her first album. I think she needs to come back out, ride the coattails of that album, put out more videos if she can. She was supposed to go on tour, Bruno, maybe go on tour, and then put out another album. I don't think she's experienced enough between the last album and, a little bit, but I don't feel like I said, I don't feel like she's experienced enough from that album to this album to put out a whole. I think she should wait a little longer, maybe 4 months.
You think she should wait a little bit longer? All right. I said you think she. I think sorry. You think she should wait a little bit longer? I agree with you. But you mentioned something very important. You said experience, right? And I think that's why what happened at Fashion Week a few weeks ago just happened. I know it was last week, but don't know when people are watching this. That's why when Fashion Week last week it happened or whatever, you mentioned experience. I think that's why it happened. Cardi does not have the experience yet.
But no, because you can't say that, because Cardi has been to these events. It's not her first year going to these events.
It's her first year as a superstar.
Well, okay, yeah, but she's been to these events before. She went to didn't she? She went to the Met Gala last year, right? Didn't she go last year?
Yeah, she was there last year.
She went last year. She went because she went with her sister. She went with Hennessy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was it. Yeah, she went last year. The crazy thing about the fight is that they never even, other than Cardi's shoe, there was no connect, and even Cardi didn't even hit her. But that was like the closest thing to a connect that happened. And, when I first heard about the fight, I couldn't even process it, because it was so, when it came out, it was so late at night when it came out, I couldn't even process what happened.
Yeah.
But you know what? I knew this was going to happen. I knew at some point it was going to come to this point. One, because that's who Cardi is. That's who Cardi's always been. Mm-hmm. And that's what, and I don't know if you've probably heard of it by now, but I don't know if you watched it. State of the Culture with Joe, Scotty B, Remy.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it yet.
So I watched the first episode, and something that Scotty said and that Remy said that it's true is that everybody has praised Cardi for all this behavior that not behavior, because who Cardi is, but her being ratchet, her just popping off whatever. Mm-hmm. We celebrated Cardi for this. We said, Cardi is who you are. And I didn't call Cardi ghetto, because I don't think that her fighting where she fought is means to call her ghetto.
Yeah.
Because everybody fights. Okay, we watch all these reality shows, Real Housewives of Potomac and Real Housewives of Orange County and all this stuff, and there's women, white women that fight all the time. So I'm not gonna sit there and say call her ratchet and call her ghetto for fighting where she fought. Yes, I don't think it should have happened at Fashion Week. I really feel like Fashion Week was just like I was cringing the whole time. Like, damn, it had to happen at Fashion Week of all places. Like, damn. But at the same time, we know Cardi for being Cardi who she is, and that's just who she is, and we just have to. I'm not gonna say accept it, but she's not like you. I do agree with what you said about the experience, but I do feel like she's been enough places that, for me, I feel like she's been enough places where she should know. However, we could go on about the many things that women go through after they have a baby. That being said, being that she had a baby, I don't think she should have put herself in that position. But like I said, getting back to it, that's who Cardi is at the same time, you know?
I will say this. I mean, I don't think it was the right place, but I also we can't say it's not the right place if we're talking about like it's supposed to be on site between those two, right? Like if it's on site, it's on site.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
that it was gonna be on site. But it was just like, but the thing is, it's like, I understand that she's frightened because she said that she was talking about her daughter. That was the main thing that night. I don't care. But that's the thing though. And this is the thing. That night she said, "Stop talking about my daughter." That's all she was campaigning about. But then she went on social media and said it was about a comment about her daughter. Yeah. And that it was about her dipping in her bag and stuff like that.
Do you believe that? Do you believe Nicki is responsible for all of these women not getting the money that they should because she doesn't want them at certain events and won't allow them?
Well, let me say this. Mm-hmm. When Nicki came out, and this goes to the hate train as well, but when Nicki came out, when she first came out and before she got signed, there was a really huge bidding war for Nicki. Everybody wanted Nicki, right?
Yeah.
And because she got with Young Money, there, it was like, okay, she's with Young Money. But once that happened, and it's been out there now, there have been some female rappers that have come forward and said this, that there has been contracts that companies are putting out there to take out Nicki, right?
Right.
So, because of that, because there's been female artists that have come out and said that they were offered these and they turned them down, I think Remy is on that contract. I'm still not sure if Cardi's on there, but at this point, it's easy to say she is. But as far as Nicki bringing the bag, I think that these I don't want to say she's stopping all their bags. Do I want to say she might be stopping one or two? Yeah. It's possible. It's very possible. I don't know who. I don't even think, because of Cardi's success, I don't even think she could successfully do that to Cardi.
I could see
because that. Cardi has so much success on her own. Cardi has been she's been introduced to the fashion side of what comes with being an artist. She's very fashionable, and so is Nicki. That's why they were both where they were, because of their fashion influence. And I don't think that Nicki could stop Cardi's bag. I don't think she could, because Cardi is the top selling now because her album did what it did, and she surpassed certain records. So even if it is true that Nicki did, in fact, try to, I don't even think it would be successful. So as I said, and Nicki said that Nicki knows Cardi's successful because she said it. She said that this woman has a very successful career. So she knows that Cardi's successful. So like I said, I don't even think Nicki could. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she would, because it wouldn't be smart, because I don't think it would, it's not going to work at this point. It can't with Cardi. Now, do I think she possibly did it with Remy? I think there's a possibility that Remy, but I don't necessarily think that I don't know. It's 50-50. It's like it's so, because it's like we don't know, like, because we don't know what's going on in between them, in between conversations, text messages, all that. We don't know for sure, but like I said, it's a very strong possibility that with Remy she did. I don't necessarily think that happened with Cardi, but I definitely think it's a possibility that could have happened with Remy.
So where do we go from here, like with Nicki and Cardi, right? All of this is taking place. Obviously, they're not cool, right?
No.
That's not so.
And you know, and I wanna, you know, you mentioned Queen Radio, and you know, Nicki has Queen Radio. I don't think Queen Radio is the best thing for Nicki because we live in a time where social media, everybody is using social media to clear up beef. They're using it as a diary. They're using it as a place to vent. And I don't think Queen Radio is. When I first heard about Queen Radio, I was like, Nicki's hosting a radio show now. Usually artists don't do that until later on in their career when they're not putting out I mean, she just put out an album, but they're not putting out albums as much. Like LL Cool J, he doing so much stuff. He has a radio show. I could see that. But for Nicki to be where she's at right now, I didn't feel like they like for what, you know? Like why?
So let me ask you that. I'm glad good segue here. I'm glad you mentioned that. So what do you see like Nicki's trajectory going forward? Like, I guess for the next 5 years, you don't know.
I really don't know because of everything that's happening right now. I really don't know. Like, honestly, because it's like I said, Queen Radio is really like, I don't think it's a real positive place.
Right.
I don't think it's real positive. I think that, and like I said, this goes back to the haters watching her. I think she's doing Queen Radio to just have a place to vent. And I'm like, you can have a podcast. And I'm not necessarily saying that Queen Radio isn't a podcast, but just the way it's set up and everything, you know what I mean? It's so much that's going into Queen Radio, and it's so, I feel like it's real. I don't listen to Queen Radio. What I've seen on social media negative, like, I mean, it's come out, it's basically just been about her beefs and about, you know, her issue with Self and her issue with Safari and her issue with, you know, I don't think there's an official issue with Dream Doll and Mariah Lynn. I think they're making it an issue based on what Nicki said about Love and Hip Hop. But she wasn't, VH1. She wasn't necessarily coming for everybody on Love and Hip Hop. She was coming for Safari when she said crummy checks. Now, to Safari, that isn't this, because if you think about all the money that he was having when he was with Nicki to the checks, and it's like, obviously, he's struggling for me because he's been on both seasons. He's been on every season of New York since he's been on, and he's been back and forth between New York and LA since he's been on it.
Yeah.
And LA's on right now. He's on LA. When New York comes back on, he's gonna be on New York, and it's been that way since he's been on the Love and Hip Hop franchise. Because I feel like because he needs the money to upkeep his lifestyle that he was having when he was with Nicki.
Yeah.
So for her to say crummy checks, yeah, that's crummy checks, and I don't feel like she was taking a dig at anybody else but Safari, and that was it. But all these people have involved themselves. Jessica Dime, Mariah, you know, like, I don't feel like, but to get back to what you were asking me about, you know, is what's going to happen, I don't know, because of, like, all this stuff that's going on. And the Nicki hate train is so real. And there's new people getting on that train every day, and and the thing is about a train, people usually get on and off. And I feel like nobody's going to get off the train. And I feel like because of that, it might hurt her success because people still have to want to hear her. And if people want to hear her, it's like, you know.
I think she's okay. I think she's cemented as far as where she is in hip hop. I don't think they can hate her all they want. I don't think Nicki's. I want to. Okay.
Stop. She's not gonna stop putting out music. And I feel like her, like you said, her place in hip hop is very. It's. I think it's pretty steady. Plus, she just released an album. She ain't going nowhere within the next 2 years at least. But I feel that because of everything that's negative going on, and because, you know, she out here looking like the bad guy, but she likes that. I think she likes that because people are still talking about her. So I think she feeds into that, and I don't feel like she should.
I think so too. I think you're right. But I think a lot of it has to do with Nicki, and I think it's the way that she acts and the way that she carries herself. That's why people don't like her. I don't think she's made herself very likable over the last few years. That just personally, I think she relies too much on just what she's done already. Like, she's like, all right, well, you know, R.I.P. to Aretha, but what was she saying? You know, for for like the last couple of years, oh, I beat Aretha's numbers, or I'm doing Aretha's numbers. You know what I mean? Like, I know she wasn't dissing Aretha. It's not a diss, but I'm saying that's all you heard from her. Like, she was relying on old numbers. Like, okay, yeah, you beat Aretha numbers, but what are you doing now? You know what I mean? It seemed like she was mad that Queen. Huh?
I was like, but she didn't beat Cardi. We didn't even get into that, but like the sales behind. There was a lot of stuff going on with her and Travis. And from what I read from it, she was really upset that it was doing well because of Travis Scott telling people, I'm sorry, not Travis, because of Kendall telling people to come see Travis Scott, allegedly because of the ticket sales. That's what led to the album doing so well. I don't know.
That's
but
crazy.
One thing that was pointed out is that his ticket sales made the album go up. Now, I don't know if that's because more people bought the album or because what was said is that the ticket sales alone, there was no album sales, was what made the album went up. And Nicki's tour tickets came with the album. And I only know because, like I said, I bought tickets. So I got a physical copy of the album. So if that part of it, as far as that being true, then I have every right to be upset, because if it's like you're not even promising the album with your ticket sales, but your album sales are going up, and I have a tour and I'm promising the album and people are buying tickets and people are buying not even people are buying the album, then yeah, I would feel away, because it's like, you know what I mean? If that's what even happened, like I said, I don't know for sure. I can't go off of I don't want to say I can't go off of what Nicki said, because that's my bitch and I fuck with her. Yeah. But there's been a lot of blurred lines with everything. She said she went to Safari and then she's with Safari. You know what I mean? But I knew she was with Safari, but still, it's like, I don't want to say I can't go off her word, but I have to take her word with a grain of salt, because it's like, I don't know. And then the same thing with Travis. He's trying to defend his side, so it's like, but can I trust what you're saying if this is what she's saying,
Let me just say this. Travis isn't doing anything different than all of the rest of them have done. All of them have bundled, ticket. Taylor Swift started this. If she wants to be mad at somebody, be mad at Taylor, because Taylor was the one.
No, she said that. Well, no, the thing is that she said that she's saying that there was like no album being promised with Travis ticket sales at all, but his album sales were still going up.
Right. The thing is, when Taylor dropped her album, right, I think it was last year, she started this whole thing. It was that you buy a ticket to her show, it counted as an album sale. It's the same exact thing that Travis is doing, and a lot of other people do that also. They offer merchandise, like, all right, if you buy a $40 sweater, I'm gonna count it as an album sale.
Right.
I can understand that. You're buying, if you're buying tickets to a concert that they're gonna perform most of the stuff that's on their album, you're pretty much buying their album, because if you're spending 100, 150, 200, whatever on a ticket, so in that respect, I see what she's saying, but if she's gonna get mad at Travis, she's got to get mad at everybody else.
That's true. That's true.
I'm not mad at Travis. I'm not mad at her either, but you can't pick and choose.
Travis, but it's not for the album sales. But that's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other thing.
I ain't mad at him for that, but I'm definitely mad at Travis. But
all right, that's a whole other story. But yeah, so all right. As far as Nicki's trajectory, I think that she is cemented. I think that Nicki will go down as a legend in hip hop. When she is finished with her career, whenever she's finished with her career, I think she will go down as a legend. But I do think there is a shift. I don't think she is the top woman in hip hop anymore. I don't think that's
not right now. I don't think.
And I don't think Cardi is either.
And it's not necessarily that she can't get that spot back. I definitely think that it could happen, but getting to the album, like, I really feel like for the time I had to wait for the album, I don't feel like it was at where I feel like, when it comes to rappers putting out albums, we do put them to a standard. So it is, I feel like we do hold them to higher standards. Like, okay, well, this album got to be better than the last one.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a pressure that we as consumers put on them. So I get that. But still being a consumer, I still feel like for the time I had to wait, I don't feel like Queen was at where it should be at. It wasn't a complete bad album. Not all the songs were bad. It wasn't bad, but I needed way better considering we had to wait 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there was 2 album pushbacks. So when I considered those 2 into the equation, I felt like I should have got way more.
Yeah, I would agree.
A little bit more.
I would agree. I wish she would have got a little bit more personal on this one. I thought that's where she was going, and that's not what we got.
I really thought Queen was gonna. To say that, yeah, I really did think because on Pink Print, that was when she first talked about her. Not to the world. Well, I'm not gonna say to the world because she did speak about it briefly on her mixtapes, but
yeah,
this is the first time she talked about her getting an abortion and her talking about her the pills and potions, talking about
that we don't really talk about much.
We don't really talk about, right? With Nicki, we don't really talk. I feel like in hip hop, drug addiction is real kind of iffy because of how, especially talking about it.
Alleged, of course. Let's put it alleged because I don't want to get sued.
Right, because we don't know who's using, who's not using, who's really using, and who's not using. But as far as and that's why I don't want to say that it's important that he died, but I feel that his death is bringing importance to that because of the the addiction and stuff like that. But that's something I feel like that's not something that people want to talk about in hip hop. In hip hop in general, it's always been glorified. Drugs, sex, it's always been glorified. Alcohol, but when it becomes to be a problem, it doesn't want to be addressed. And I feel like that needs to be addressed. So, again, like I said, I definitely think that I thought Queen was going to be a little bit more personal. Mm-hmm. And also, I didn't think it was going to be... I don't even know the word, or the phrase or whatever, but I just didn't think it was... I definitely thought it was going to be different. I don't know how, but I just wasn't expecting this. And maybe that's why I'm disappointed. Everybody's which is funny to me. Everybody's, gravitating towards Barbie Dreams, but it's technically I don't want to say it's a recycled song, but she already has basically the same song. This is just more updated to the male rappers today, but she already had a song, Dreams '07, which is basically the same thing, but she's talked about rappers of that time. So for that song, for the remix to Dreams '07, Barbie Dreams, it could have came a little bit harder. I like it, but I feel like it could have been a little bit harder. And I feel like people got really sensitive to that for some reason. I'm like, but she did this already. Why are you so sensitive about it?
Yeah, I just want to say the video was trash to me. She looked nice.
Video. Well, I saw. Like I said, I'm not really a big fan of music videos these days. I'm in and out. If I really want to watch it, I'll watch it. But I'm in and out. But from the clips I saw, she looked really nice. The video, I kind of saw how she had like Muppets or something So that part I got it, but I don't think it translated well. So
no, it didn't translate.
It didn't translate.
No. Nah.
I got what she was trying to do. I got that, but it was just like I don't think it connected to everybody, Nick. And as a fan overall, I am rooting for Nick. I'm not turning my back on Nick because I'm loyal to her. She's Queens. I'm always gonna fuck with her because that's my bitch. Yeah. I'm rooting for her. I want her to do better. I want her to be better. And I feel like she just. I feel like after Queen comes out, with the tour. I don't know the state of the tour. She said she postponed it. If she's going to still do the tour, I'm still going to rebuy my tickets and go. Yeah. But I just feel like I take a break, come back. It's okay to do that. Jay-Z went into retirement like 3 times already. So it's fine to take a break, take a much needed break, experience life, travel, do some things, just do that and then come back and let's see what's going on. But I think she needs to, unfortunately she took a 4-year break, but in that break she was still in the public and still doing music here and there and going through things with me, going through things with Nas and everything. So I think she needs to take now that, she's decided that she's going to be single, I guess, because it's been rumored that she has a new boy. Right, who's New Boy, right? Everybody's been, you
Well,
know,
Tekashi said he's New Boy, so we're rolling with that right now.
uh, uh, uh,
All right, but anyway, yeah.
but yeah, I think that now that she's accepted being single, is she single?
Yeah.
I think she needs to ride that coattail being single. I want to hear from single Nicki. We haven't. I don't want to say Queen was single Nicki because she was she was kind of with Nas for some, well, allegedly for some of it.
Yeah.
So I want to hear what single, traveled, relaxed Nicki has to say. So I think we need another break.
And I just want to say this, and I agree with you. I just want to say this: if Nicki is on drugs allegedly, get help.
Because that's been speculating as well that she might be on drugs, and that's why she's been acting this way. And
I do think she's on drugs. I'm not, and it's not. I know I'm smiling, but it's a serious thing. I do think she's on drugs. But
I think that might play a part into things. So yeah.
And we're not talking about like weed. Like we're talking about real. Like she's on something, but allegedly. Nicki, allegedly. But anyway, Alika, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
I'm more than happy to be on the show.
That's why you were the perfect person to get on the show, because you could back up facts and everything like that. So I appreciate you coming on. Please let the lovely people know where they could find you and where they could follow you at.
You can find me I'm mostly on Instagram. So my Instagram is OMG, it's Alika Cray. The Alika Cray project is coming back soon. I don't want to give a date, but it's coming back soon. Okay. I know I keep saying it's coming back, but it's coming back. I promise you it's coming back. There's some things in the works, so it's coming back. And my YouTube link is actually, if you want to watch my previous videos, it's in my link on my Instagram bio.
Okay, great. So make sure you guys support Alika. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know how you feel about Nicki, how you feel about Cardi, everybody. I want to know.
How you feel about everything we talked about today. Like, yeah. I just need to know.
Likewise. Thank you again, Alika, and thank you guys for joining us on Works in Progress.